Well, hello there. As some of you may know, Mine-imator just came out with a brand new update 1.2.5, and some pretty nifty features have been added, mostly to the camera. That's where most of the updates have been applied in this version. So we're going to take a quick little look at it. Just go ahead and do our usual thing and kind of get the stuff sorted out here. And since this is primarily camera based, we're going to go ahead and do that and spawn in a camera. So in order to see some of the, you know what, I should probably make that smaller for a moment. So in order to see kind of what's going on with the camera here, I'm going to spawn in a couple things. So we've got a little scene set up and we've got Steve there. And now we can get to the good stuff. So according to the update list, the first thing we have is added blade setting to camera, depth of field, and bloom. So let's just go ahead and turn on rendering here if we can get it to, actually, there we go, real-time render. And just so we can kind of see a bit more of an exaggerated effect, we're going to go ahead and zoom in, position our camera. So we're going to turn on depth of field. And I think you can already tell if you spend much time in Mine-imator that there's a bit of an improvement to depth of field. That's also one of the change notes, is that depth of field has been improved. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the sunlight strength so we can see a bit better. Alright, so let's see what we got here in the new options. So first of all, we have the blades, which is the first thing on the update list. So if we turn that up, not really seeing much of a difference in this example. Let's go ahead and reduce our range. Let's say it at 20. And let's make it focus on the background. Because one of the other improvements that I'm aware of is the depth of field has been improved for like in general and then also for like nearby objects, I think. So maybe this will give us a better example. We'll find out. You can see a little bit of something happening here at the edges, so let's see if we can bring this a little bit closer and see what's happening. If that'll work for us. We can also turn up the blur size, that'll probably help. Let's bring that up to just say like, 4%. And then if we turn up the blades, oh yeah, now you can see some things change around here. I'm not really sure if I'm getting the best result. Once again, I haven't played with this at all. This is my first time getting into it. One of the other options we have here, of course, is blade angle. So let's just go ahead and drag that up to, what, maybe 2? That seems to be giving us the most difference. Oh, doesn't do anything. Let's go up to, say, 5. You can see something happening there, but it's very subtle. So I back the camera off a little bit, and we have this option here called edge bias. So let's see what that does. Oh, look at that. That actually kind of gives you some very noticeable effects there. Let's kind of turn that up and see if that affects the blade option. Definitely seeing something going on there. Blade angle doesn't seem to be doing much again. So down here we have the bokeh highlights. Let's go ahead and try that. And you can see like the out of focus areas, the brights are getting brighter. That's pretty cool. That's a feature that you'll find in some like photo editing programs and whatnot, and it can give you some pretty cool, pleasing results. Alright, I think we've played enough with that. Let's go ahead and hit foreground here and get Steve back into focus. Try to again reorient our scene a little bit. I think you can see some of the blade angle stuff happening back here, or the actual blade number. Let's see if maybe messing with it at this point affects things a bit more. There we go. Now we're seeing some stuff. You can see the bokeh changing back there, so I think that's definitely, yeah, much more obvious in this example here. You can see that's basically a circle. You get down to 3 and it's a triangle, 4, square. So yeah, it's doing a pretty good job of mimicking the whole blade thing. And then of course, let's get our triangle there. And if we change the angle there, yeah, man, look at that. It's turning. That's awesome. So there we go. We finally got a good example of that. Sorry about that. It was such a delay. All right, so now let's see if we can bring this up. Maybe it'll do like a number 6 there. Give us that kind of octagonal sort of look that you'll see sometimes in movies and stuff. That might be pretty cool a little bit. And let's see if we can bring that down. Obviously that's makes it way bigger or way smaller. Gives you a lot of different effects on your depth of field there. If we mess with the highlights in this instance, you can see there it's kind of giving it a nice little effect. That's pretty good. Let's just make that like 10% to something. This 25. I'm pretty happy with that. So next thing we have on the list is Chromatic Aberration. Let's turn that on. And you already see it did something. So turn that blur on. And Chromatic Aberration is kind of a thing that occurs with lenses. You can see it kind of gives you edge softness around the edges and things, or what would you call it? Like just softness around the edges. And also one of the things you'll see in real lenses, and we talked about this before with the fringe effect, it kind of gives you a pseudo chromatic aberration. But if we go to distort RGB channels, then you'll see that your colors become distorted around edges. So that's pretty cool. Look at that effect. So you can actually adjust this. We can, woohoo, look at that. Oh man, Steve did acid. That is not cool, Steve. Say no to drugs, kids. So we turn that way up. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh, that's a nifty effect. Why am I actually, let's bring this up. Oh no, that's gonna be too big. Look at that, man. You can get all kinds of nifty effects with this. That's pretty intense effect though, so let's go ahead and disable that for the moment. Oof. And then we have the distort option. That's the next major update in this update, or change in this update. Oh, look at that. That's it's kind of like a, what do you call those, kaleidoscopes? Woo! So that's pretty cool. Repeat image. Oh man, it's the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. That is awesome. Look at that. I can imagine this being useful maybe for like a camera as a texture, if it'll let you do that. That might be pretty crazy. Alright, so that was basically, you know, a general overview of the major changes in this update. Just thought it'd be fun to take a look at it, but one of the other things we may want to take a look at here. So now I think they've added the ability, let's go ahead and get a background timeline. So now we can animate our background, and usually that was limited to certain things, as you're probably aware. And one of those things was you couldn't change the background texture, like the grass that we have here. So we've got a dang old keyframe. There's the word, keyframe. We got a keyframe there. So I'm gonna go ahead and set another one, and let's change this to glass. Something like that. And then maybe here we'll change it to whatever this is, that terracotta or something. And change it again. Maybe stone this time. And let's see if that actually, it animates. It works. Look at that. And as you can see, it's instant, even though these transitions are linear. So you're not gonna like fade in between or anything like that. So yeah, there you go. That's the 1.2.5 update. Just wanted to do a quick little look at it and see what was going on in this update. And there it is. So maybe if we use it some more, get into it a bit more, there'll be more interesting things to show and talk about. But I just wanted to do a little quick foray into it and kind of go through it with you guys and share the excitement. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.